last time Bill joined us, there was, I want to call it mayhem. Let's just say he and Jordan got into it a little bit. And, whenever I seem to recall he talked about his website. He talked about option explicit VBA and not the nicest terms. Or not his website, but the title, option explicit, and the need for coding, or the need for commenting your code. And whenever you do that to someone, you might as well be talking about their mama. You might as well be talking about where they come from. It's fighting words, right? And so, and I think back to the last time we had Zack on as well, and he mentioned, Rick, you put a fireman and an anvil in the same room, and what's going to come out is a bent anvil. He's going to find a way to break that anvil. So it seems only appropriate to have Zack here as we move into this episode, which is going to be a full-on Excel celebrity death match.
Uh-oh.
Now, it's going to be on. Now, we're inviting you, everyone who's watching right now, to leave questions that you would like for me to ask of the panel here. Questions around that we're going to award points for and who's going to win this thing. So you can leave those questions on the Facebook page, or actually right over here in the QA section if you're watching this on Google Plus or the Google Hangouts right now. Questions you'd like for us to ask here. Now, Zack, you have a book that you just released, so this is going to be the prize. If we pick your question, and it's one of the ones we asked today, Zack's gonna ship you one of his books. Zack, would you mind showing that and talking a little bit about it?
Yep, absolutely. See if I can get this here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep.
Okay. So this is the new book. Lovely cover designed by Emily Jones. It's not the thickest book in the world, but there's only so much you can cover with tables, as has been pointed out to me many times. But recently published. Thank you to Bill Jelen for that, and you can get one of these lovely copies or the ebook if you would like. And I've actually got two questions. One actually has multiple answers and is a bit tricky for anyone who would like a copy of the book.
All right.
Right.
So that's it. So leave your questions over there in the QA section or on Facebook, and we're just going to get this thing kicked off. So first off, we're going to go from left to right here, and I'm going to award points based on whatever I think you ought to get. First off, macro recorder or learning to write from scratch? First off, the guy with the Technicolor background, Mr. Bill Jelen.
Absolutely, macro recorder. Great way to start. There's only 5 things you have to learn in addition to the macro recorded code. Start with the macro recorder and then add loops, add variables. 6 things if you're Jordan. You have to add your dimensions at the top, right? You have to dim your variables. But definitely start with the macro recorder. Learn the few things you have to add, and you're good to go.
Okay, so picking on the Amish guy right off the bat, what you got to say, Amish guy?
I have to say, right from scratch. Also, if you're going to do it Bill's way, I think you got to add 7 things because he's forgetting option explicit.
I said option explicit. That was my 6th one, Jordan. Pay attention.
No, I thought you said. Oh, I see.
5 things plus 1.
Well, I think you should just add it twice. 2 option explicits. You can never have enough. No, I think if you start with the macro recorder, then I understand that, but writing from scratch is a lot better because the code it generates is terrible code and it is bloated, and I hate it.
Okay, how about our favorite data gaucho?
I would say start with the recorder. Don't make it hard.
Don't make it hard. How about you, Zack?
Get stuff done.
Get it done. How about you, Zack?
I'm kind of split, actually. I start from scratch now, but when I first started coding, I definitely used the macro recorder, so I think there's definitely the best of both worlds. So I'm just going to stay with the split decision that it depends.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I would stay with split, but because Bill chose macro recorder, I have to choose the opposite. So.
Okay. I'm giving both.
Are you going to be contrarian tonight, Jordan? Is everything I say you're just going to go the opposite way?
I can't help it that you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
And it's on.
Zach, what do you do when you need to fill a cell with the color purple, the 8th item along the bottom of the fill color drop down? You don't record that? Come on.
I don't. I used to, but I don't now.
Do you know the color off the top of your head? How do you ever figure out what the RGB codes are?
No, I have no idea. I wrote a function for it.
Boom.
There you go. All right.
Check out my book.
Right.
Okay, so on that one, Zach and Oz get 10 points. Both Bill and Jordan lose 10 points. You're in the minus for not knowing how to count.
Well, it's not his
5 and
fault. I
6
did it.
can't
That was
count.
my
Minus
fault.
7, minus 3.
All right.
Whatever. Well, minus 10 points. You're in the hole. Pie charts. Okay or not okay? Bill.
Pie charts are only good for when you're showing how something adds up to 100%. Most of the pie charts that people create are completely wrong to use. But if you're really showing how those regions add up to 100%, yeah, they're good to go.
All right. What you think about that? You probably think if it adds up to 0%, right, Jordan? You'll get him.
Right. No, I think the only type of pie charts that are really okay are the ones that are actual pie in real life. Like when you're looking at it and you're like, I've eaten this much and this is what's left. Or like if you're looking at a pizza and you're like, half of this is pepperoni. Otherwise, don't use them.
Okay, so never for Jordan unless it's for consumption. How about our favorite cowboy, Oz du Soleil?
I know people say don't use them. I've listened to business analysts and everything. You know, I've got, you know, I'm bowing out of this one because if you just have 2 or 3 things in a pie chart, go use the damn thing. If you got 11, then you got a problem.
That sounds like a yes. That's not a bow out.
It doesn't sound like a bow out to me.
Right.
It's 11. The answer was 11. I don't know. I forgot the question now. Zach, could you jump in?
Yes, the answer is 11.
The answer is 11.
Take my point.
Brilliant.
No.
Both of you get 10 points again.
Well, you know,
Go ahead, Zach.
originally I was going to answer what Bill answered because I think it's spot on. And then I heard Jordan's answer, and I liked his a lot because it made me hungry and think of Boston cream pie. Pizza's always good, too.
Yep.
But Oz has a really good point, too. My rule of thumb is 6 or less figures. If you have 6 or less figures and you're part of a whole, yeah, absolutely. Other than that, stay the heck away from them. And if anyone brings up 3D charts, I will smack you. 3D charts are the worst thing to ever happen to Excel, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so that's 1 point for Bill, 1 point for Jordan, 1 point for Oz, and 3 points for Zach because he agreed with all of you. Okay. 1, 1, 1. Okay, sorry, Jordan and Bill, you're still in the negative. Okay, who is the best at Excel? Republicans or Democrats? Bill.
You know, that's a great question.
It's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, by the way. Plus 7 points for you.
I'm not going to say anything else because I'll lose points.
Okay,
I'm just going to stay right there.
I'll cut you off right there. How about you, Jordan?
Well, you know, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about starting out with like a dumb joke, like saying Republicans always use like the right side of the spreadsheet and Democrats always use the left. But in all honesty, you know, politics, he used way more spreadsheets than Barack Obama. I could be wrong, but he looks like a spreadsheet guy. So I'm just going to take that and peanut butter spread it over the entire political spectrum and say Republicans.
Okay. How about you, Oz?
I think if you can think about these zealots who say if VLOOKUP is dead, leave VLOOKUP alone, only use index match, that zealotry smells like Tea Party. No, I say Democrats.
Okay. And Zach.
Oh, I say neither. I say that no politician could aptly use Excel.
Okay. You're all wrong. The answer was Green Party. Green Party was the right answer. Fell green. However, we'll give Bill 7 points for complimenting me, and Oz 10 points for the $10 word zealotry. Okay. Do you say data or data? Bill.
Could you spell the word for me?
DAY-TA or data?
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Yes. Can you say data or data?
Well, let's see. I have some data here, and I need to do a data consolidate. I guess I go both ways.
Okay, both ways. Okay, how about you, Jordan?
I'm data all the way. I've never said data except for that sentence right there.
Felt weird, didn't it?
Don't verify that. Don't look at other videos in the past. Please don't.
All right. All right, Excel cowboy. Data or data?
All right. I watch a lot of Andy Griffith and learned how to say ain't be, so I say data.
All right. And the fireman from Oregon.
Well, it always reminds me from Star Trek: The Next Generation, data. So I always say data. Data, I don't know, just sounds wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you beta test something. You don't beta test it.
But in Europe, they beta test it.
Oh, man.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I don't even know why that would be comparable, because beta is spelled differently than data, so I don't know why I even brought that up. Although I'm really into data now.
So we're getting a message here from Jeffrey Weir saying that depends on whether John Peltier is sitting behind you or not. Is John a data or a data guy?
No, I think that was for the Republican or Democrat one.
Oh, gotcha. I'm a little slow here. Gotcha.
I think we should give all points to Jeffrey for that one.
All points to Jeffrey, minus 3 points for everyone else on the panel. Minus 3 for everyone else. Minus 3.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
Rick, I have a question about the scoring.
Yes.
To me, it looks like you're leaning to the right and you're writing things down with the pen. Is that on a tablet computer? You're not keeping score in Excel?
It's a slide rule. I have a slide rule over here. Just it's handling it that way. So speaking of which, there's a thing going around the internet lately on Facebook that says if you click on this link, click on this link and it'll show you all the friends that you're supposed to unfriend. And you click on the link, and it's a group of all of your friends who have liked the Nickelback page. But my question to you: should you unfriend all of your friends who like Google Spreadsheets? Bill.
Oh. Yes.
Yes.
I don't have any friends who like Google Spreadsheets. They're dead to me.
All right. You can't be Mr. Excel and
Yeah.
answer that question any differently.
That's
like,
actually this sentence is only the second time I've ever said the word Google Spreadsheet.
it feels as odd as Jordan saying data. Data. No, I was going to stop it. I'm going to stop that right there. I'm just going to give you like 70 points just right off the bat. That was epic. Jordan.
Yes, you should. See, Bill and I agree, because I just heard this. Nickelback has just endorsed Google Spreadsheets too. They use that on tour. So just another reason not to like Google Spreadsheets. Okay. Not only should you not friend them, you should send them hate mail. You should send them mean things. While we use Google Hangouts, I'm insulting the spreadsheet program.
So Oz, could you channel what would Carl Peppeerseed? How would he answer this? What would he think about this? Would he unfriend people who like Google Spreadsheets?
He's getting Carl.
Hold on, let me go grab Carl. I'll be right back.
What I think you should do is have compassion for these people. They got problems. We really need to get our Excel books, put them under arm, go around every Saturday morning and knock on the door. Hey, you can't do a dependent drop-down box in Google Spreadsheet. You can't do it. Open that door back up. Open that door. I'm going to come back next Saturday with my books, and I'm going to heal you somehow.
That's an extra 30 points for having the Mr. Excel Fun book there.
Oz, I'm sorry. I have to interrupt. I don't think that guerrilla data analysis should be written by you.
Oh,
I think it should be written by Carl.
Oh.
He is quite possibly the funniest guy I've ever seen.
All right.
I'm tearing up your contract. Send in a new version.
So how about you, Zach? You there? Would you
What was the
unfriend?
question?
Would you unfriend your friends on Facebook who like Google spreadsheets?
No, I wouldn't, because I would want to follow them around and stalk them so I could make fun of them behind their back.
Nice. Okay. So that was a little creepy. So we'll give you 70 points for that for the creepiness. I'm afraid of giving you anything less than what I just gave Bill. And Carl Peppeerseed is a whopping 130. You're pulling it away there, Carl. Yeah, that was awesome. You've answered one question and you're beating everybody.
Carl.
Oh, my.
Oh, no doubt. He's answered one question and he's beaten everybody.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay, Vlookup versus index match. Bill.
I am going to go with 98% of the world and say VLOOKUP. Well, when I say the world, the people who can do a VLOOKUP, right? So let's just throw out all of the people that can't do VLOOKUPs. Of the people that can do a VLOOKUP or index and match, 98% of them use VLOOKUP so they can understand what I'm talking about. So even though index and match is better, it's more flexible and yada, 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 I get it. I want to be open to these people who use VLOOKUP. Those are important people. It's not like Google spreadsheets, right? It's a valid lifestyle to use a VLOOKUP. Now, HLOOKUP, you're out of my book. If you use HLOOKUP, I'll unfriend you as well. You couldn't transpose that table?
Got to get rid of people. Sometimes you got to cut people loose. You just got to do it. How about you, Jordan?
I don't. When people ask me this, I say, who cares? Which is really weird for me, given every other hard opinion that I have. But, man, I just don't think it matters. If you want to use index match, go ahead. If you want to use VLOOKUP, I don't know that the benefit is real unless you need something that requires index match. I mean, I use VLOOKUP. It's easier to get going. Easier to get
you going. And I'm sorry, Oz, and this is the last question that I want to talk to you on. You're on out. I need to hear. I need to hear your friend there. But would you mind just maybe it's the Hailmaker here. Maybe this is the one that's going to pull it out for you. What do you think? VLOOKUP, index match.
VLOOKUP. It works.
Wow, that's so much different from Carl Peppeerseed.
That's it.
That's it. It's just clear. Succinct.
That's all right.
Straight to the
Hey,
point.
guess what? It works. All right, and Zach.
Well, I'm going to have to step in for Jordan on confronting Bill on this one, and I'm going to have to go with index match and saying the 98% of people that are using VLOOKUP should be using index match.
Okay, so I'll give Jordan 1 point, Zach 2 points for agreeing with Jordan. I'm taking away the 130 points that Carl Peppeerseed got in the previous answer. That's minus 130 there, and plus 7 to Bill for unfriending people, unfriending HLOOKUP people. So plus 7 for that. And like to remind everybody who's watching this where you're writing in your comments and your questions, if you have a question that you'd like for us to ask of the panel right now, if we end up using your question, just go ahead and type it in there. If we end up using it, then we have a free book. We're giving away 2 of the books of Excel tables by Zack Barresse, so go ahead and put your questions in there. Okay, next one. Best Excel mascot. A, Chandu's Tornado Afro. Or it's also been called Upside Down Jordan Goldmeyer.
Right, yep.
B,
Chris
Macro's Crown. Or C, Data Pig's Pig. Bill, what you got?
Yeah, I have to give this one to Chandu. Chandu, that is recognizable even at the smallest size. So my vote's Chandu.
Okay. What you got there, Jordan?
We didn't even bring up the running man, Bill Jelen's Holy Macro Man. I don't know, do you have a name for him?
It's Bubba. His name is Bubba.
Bubba.
Of course.
Bubba.
What else would you call him?
You just made that up, didn't you?
No, that's I have internal documents going back 14 years calling him Bubba. I didn't make up that name, but that's what they call him.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot Bubba. So Bubba is on the list if you want. I'm gonna go with the Crown because I know Chris Macro lives down the street from me. So, I like his logo.
Minus 7 points for name dropping. Minus seven points.
Wait,
dropping down the street. Okay, Oz.
Well, that is kind of an afro, is kind of a James Brown process. So let's go back to the 70s with Chandu's Tornado Afro process.
Process. I thought you were just going to say it works. Nice. And Zach.
I was originally going to vote for Chandu, but I believe I have to give it to the Data Pig because he hasn't got one vote yet.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. The correct answer was Data Pig.
Hey!
Congratulations, Zach.
Win a chicken dinner.
Plus 7 points for you, minus 7 for Jordan for name dropping, and -3 for both Bill and Oz just because I'm in charge of the points. Power map.
Am I still negative?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jordan, I've never heard you say a positive thing, so yes.
Nice.
All right.
I think you're trending at a -9. You're right around a -9 right now.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse with Power Map.
Yeah. Okay. Is it okay to do your entire next year's budget with the function Randbetween?
It gets
all
a laugh.
of next year.
That,
How about you, Bill?
I use that line in every Power Excel seminar. I used that line yesterday in Tulsa, and it just gets ripples of laughter as people comprehend what I just said. So, yes, absolutely. Budgets will be done in 30 seconds. Randbetween.
Okay, minus 6 points for pointing out that I'm not original. -6. -6 points for you. Jordan.
I'm gonna say yes because budgets take time, and who wants to do them? Just go with the Randbetween. Just make sure that's a good interval, so that nobody asks questions.
Oz, you gonna let him get away with that? Can I ask the questions?
Oh no! Ask all the questions you want. Randbetween on next year's budgets. Yeah, go ahead. You might get lucky.
And the spreadsheet might be right too.
That's right. There's 1 or 2 sales. Yeah, it might be right.
If you're worried that you're going to get caught, wrap that Randbetween in a Roman function, and you'll be good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And Zach. Next year's budget, Randbetween.
Purple. I don't know. Sure, why not?
11.
That's 11. That's 11 for Zach. 11 points for Zach. -6 for Bill Jelen, pointing out that he told that joke 70 times already, and it gets more laughter when he tells it. And plus 40 for Oz. Just saying, hey, you might get lucky. I like that. Welcome back, Carl.
Did I get any points?
No. I was just. No, you're still at -9. You're trending well. You're trending well.
That actually improved your score, Jordan. You didn't lose any ground.
Exactly.
That's true. I'll take it.
All right.
Okay. All right. Putting instructions on a spreadsheet, is that necessary?
Yes.
Bill.
Oz. That was very good. Oz's mouth moved, but he read my mind. That was my answer.
Right. Put them in there.
I'm gonna say no. Okay, you put a little bit, but there's like this level where people put way too much. I just feel like, for me, I like writing instructions in a document and then making something that's intuitive to use, so they don't really need tons of instructions always. At least that's the hope.
Yeah.
I'll be honest and say that doesn't always happen, but I don't really love putting a ton of instructions in spreadsheets.
All right. And you agree with that, right, Oz?
Oh, it sounds like some hocus pocus. That's what it sounds like. You get intuitive, all of that. No, people are often scared of spreadsheets, and then they don't have enough money to make it fully automated, so they need some instructions, right? Not hocus pocus.
Yeah, but the instructions in Excel are just like text boxes. People are like, and then like on different monitors are like not sized correctly. Ugh, I hate it. Like you write stuff. It's just not a good writing platform. But I think it's good for figures. It's good for figure. Like click here.
That's why the Bible wasn't written in a text box.
End
What
quote.
do you mean? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know, but plus
Bad
3
writing
points.
platform. Okay.
Hold on. The Bible was not written in a text box. All right. How about you, Zach?
Yeah, it breaks the max character limit, right? So I'm gonna stick with the safe answer and say it depends. So I've done a lot of template work for Microsoft, and they have a lot of tips in their on the worksheets, which they're going away from now in a lot of them. So they will work in Excel Online, Excel for iPad, Excel for Online, or Excel for iPad. They don't like shapes; they like picture objects, but not drawing objects. So it depends. And if it's a bigger spreadsheet, I'll probably write up some text document or something like that. So by and large, yes, I'm putting them on the spreadsheet. So how's that for a detailed answer?
That's great. Everybody gets 9 points because number one, I kind of zoned out in the middle of everybody answering. And B, hey, this gets Jordan back to kind of well, he's neutral at this point.
Just say it. I'm 0. I'm nothing.
He's
I'm in air.
There you go. So we got one more here. Big data, real or buzzword? Bill.
Big data is real. No one has it, but it's real. There's one guy that I've met who has big data. He has 56 million records an hour, but everyone else, they just say big data, and they don't have big data.
Okay. How about you? So what do you think about that? I bet you think exactly the opposite, huh, Jordan? So you're either going to go for the +9. You have to think that Bill is wrong, and he's going to get the negative points, and you're going to get the positive ones, or the exact opposite.
No.
Where are
Okay.
you going?
So, I don't know if this agrees or not. I think big data is a real thing in terms of technology. In terms of cloud technology. But the way we use it, it's not. It's just describing BI technology that we probably called OLAP a few years ago and called BI somewhere in between. And then before that, they probably just called it database. So the way it's used, I don't think anyone really has it, but it is a real technology, and some people are using it, probably CERN, as they're smashing particles together. They have a lot of data.
CERN. What do you think about that, Oz?
I have no idea. If this thing with this long, flexible nose and his big, hard white things out of his face was walking in your door and stepping on you, you guys got to deal with it. Who cares if it's called an elephant or a dresser drawer? Who cares? I don't know. If I got a problem, I'm going to deal with the problem. Big data, little data, inside out data, polka dot data.
Polka dot data. What do you think about that, Zach?
Well, I like Oz's answer, but I'm gonna have to agree with Bill. Yes and yes. Yes, it's a real thing, and yes, it's a buzzword that's used probably primarily out of context, but it's absolutely real. I know quite a few people who use it. Not a lot of people that use Excel with it, but some that do. But it's definitely real. It's kind of like Bigfoot if you spot it.
All right. That's go ahead.
Well, I'm wondering, what is it? Okay, I get several million an hour, but I hear different definitions of it that it might not be volume, but it's complex. Like doing a search on a video, right? Something that's not easily put into columns and rows. I've heard that called data. Somebody else calls it unstructured data. So what is big data, and how does it help us to put a name on it?
Is the way I look at it. Big data is anything that doesn't fit in Excel or fit efficiently in Excel. So basically any kind of database, right, where you have millions and millions or billions of records. Anything big like that. If it doesn't fit in Excel, call it big data.
Well, you can have, say, a database that's just got several thousand rows, and it's complex. Is that big data?
I wouldn't call that big data, no.
Well, I was looking at this conference submission form, and they're like, we're looking for talks on huge data. I'm not making this up. So now there's something even bigger than big data, and apparently it's called huge data.
Nice.
Ultra data.
I know. Where is it going to end? What about tiny data? What about like a 9x9 spreadsheet? You know, there's only 81 cells being used. Or what about just one cell? That's tiny data. How come we don't have that? Anyone?
That's why I say, if a client comes to me with something, I'm dealing with it, with whatever tool is most appropriate, and we call it my client's data.
Okay.
Before we move on, I think I have a really good definition of big data. Is it possible for me to screen share or not? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you can see that. Basically, anything at 72 point. You know, even if it's just 2 cells.
That's big data.
Big data. All right.
It's good stuff.
Okay. I get that. That's clear.
I vote to give all of my points to Bill.
Okay, so you just got minus 3 points there, Bill. Congratulations. You got
Zach.
minus 3 points from Zach.
You're welcome.
Zach, give me your credit card too.
Zach is back to 0. Zach is back to 0 now.
All right.
Congratulations, Zach. That was a brilliant move.
Thank you.
Okay, minus 3 points there for Bill. Zach is back to even. Okay, that's a brilliant strategy. There you go. Power map. Is it great or is it terrible? What you think about that, Bill?
I want Jordan to go first. I saw his blog post where he said it was the worst thing, but putting 3D maps on the horizon, and I need to hear about this, Jordan.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Jordan. What you got?
It's just not good. I mean, I just want just a flat map that I can present data on. Instead, they got to do these 3D things with these 3D bar charts. By the way, I mean, we've done the research on this. It's very clear. These sort of data visualization things are gimmicks, and they don't really work, and they don't really work for comparison. And I think Microsoft really likes this idea of being able to have like a 3D globe that you control around, but there's no data application that I could see that can't be done better on a flat chart, flat map. It's a nice rendering engine. How's that, Bill?
What do you think about that, Bill?
Yeah, I don't get it. I love Power Map. Power Map is beautiful. It is awesome.
You would.
Right? We get to see the height. We get to fly around through the thing. We can zoom into the neighborhood. We can zoom back out to the entire country. Everyone I've shown Power Map to, they're just blown away.
They're just dazzled.
They are dazzled, but you can actually tell real live things using Power Map.
But you could do that if it was a flat map. You don't need
Absolutely
it to
not. No, you
don't
cannot.
need it to like dance around or like spin a globe.
You can't. How do you tell the height? So right now I can fly in and I can see the height of the various elements on the map.
But why wouldn't you just make a chart with a bar chart? I mean, why do you need to zoom in to that location?
What kind of a 3D? So now you're talking about a 3D chart. You're going to have X and Y.
No, I don't want a 3D chart. I want a flat chart.
Well, no, but then how do I show the height? Are you going to use different colors? I'm getting a fourth dimension out of Power Map that I can't do on a regular chart.
You're saying, because you use that example where people fly, or where you fly, like where you show your trip, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Okay, so we were house hunting, right? We scraped every single house, 2,200 houses in the neighborhood. I knew based on the color, what year it was built, based on the height, how much it had sold for, and I could go block by block and see exactly what was going on, right? And so I could tell how old the house was based on the color. I could tell what it sold for based on the height. I could navigate through using their tools. including the alt to tip back and forth. You would never be able to do that on a regular chart.
Well, I'd have to see it. I'm not okay. So I'm not entirely going to say that that's not useful because I haven't seen it. But I'm still wondering if there's not a better way you can do it without the 3D. Just because I just don't see when I think about it, I just don't see it that 3D being all that necessary. Because you're saying there's a color. Well, you know, I don't want to get into this to just a serious discussion because that's not what this is about. So what we need to do is we need to see that. I want to see that data visualization because maybe I'll change my mind, but I just don't see it. There's probably different ways to do it that involved in a heat map. You said you were already using color, but I'm not entirely unconvinced that there wasn't another way to do it.
And without making it a serious thing, but one of the things we did with the timeline slider, so the neighborhood started being built up in 1962, and all of the houses were too old for Mrs. Excel. And she was rejecting everything. And by using that timeline slider, right at 1976, I noticed this whole neighborhood that had not been built yet. So those houses were all 10 years newer than everything else. Hands down, it was a beautiful way to.
Hey, maybe I'll change my mind.
I'll show it to you. Yeah.
For today, no.
Good.
No,
all right.
The stuff that Microsoft shows, the tutorials they show, they're just not good uses of it. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe I haven't thought of something, but it really, I just think this whole thing about being able to zoom in on bar charts just seems so silly to me. I mean, it's like Wolfenstein, like you're walking through the bar charts.
You're the same guy who did an entire blog post on doing a 3D maze, right?
Yeah, but that has no business application. That's just fun.
That was an entire big thing for you, right?
If Microsoft came in and said, hey, look at this spinny globe. This is just fun. Hey, if you're doing real work and you just want to spin a globe, because I would want to do that. I've done that with Google Earth. I would love if there was a quicker way to do that in Excel. Don't get me wrong. It's great for that.
Fair enough. Oh, and by the way, Jeffrey Weir and John of Vertex 42, we are watching you over the comments section, so feel free to pipe in if you have some opinions on these two. So Oz, what are your thoughts about that? Power map, good or bad?
I think it's wonderful. I'm concerned about Jordan on this fast track to being a grumpy old man. I'm concerned. Making me think of these singer-songwriters that show up in an acoustic guitar in a coffee shop and don't have a full band, the richness of it, and a slap bass solo. Now it got the acoustic guitar talking about some walking down the block song and boring people to death.
Let me write a song about my cat.
Let's have some fun, Jordan. Stop hating the fun. Come on.
So, and Zach agrees with all three of you. He gets 3 points. What do you think, Zach?
Good or bad? Yes.
Okay, yes.
Just yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. So
to tie it out with a serious note, since that's the fashionista at the moment. I think it's a cool thing, but probably less uses than anything else as far as like the Power BI suite goes. I do love the interactivity. The 3D is kind of cool. People like it, but it's just an extra fluff.
Yes.
But it does add people like it, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. So yeah, it's cool.
Right.
Yes, it's a pain in the butt to install. So yes, I don't like it. Yes and yes.
Definitely. Okay, so we're gonna give Jordan -10 on that. For apparently he did an entire blog post on this, talk about how bad it was, and his first words out of his mouth for his answer was it's not good. That's -10 points. If you wrote a blog post on it, your answer is it's not good.
I'm impressed that Bill read that blog post because that was really long, and the people I asked who read it were like, ugh. They were really nicely telling me that they didn't want to read it. They're like, I don't really like reading those long ones. Seriously, like 3 people said that to me. All the followers of my blog, all 3 of them.
Yeah, we're hearing from John over here at Vertex 42. It's the 3D data maps and the power maps are awesome. You can get basically 1,000 data points in a small area. So definitely he uses that a lot, and this is a guy who creates a lot of those templates that are out there. We're gonna give Bill 10 points for saying it's beautiful, 5 points for Oz for showing empathy, and we're gonna keep Zach at 0. He gave his -3 points away, so we're just going to keep him at 0. And probably no matter what he does the rest of the show, he's just going to level out. And last question. Last question. Who is the best-looking Excel MVP or guru community expert?
It's Rick.
Hell yeah. Plus 70. How about you, Oz?
Oh, you nominating me?
No, I'm saying no. I'm sorry. How about you, Jordan? What are your thoughts?
I think Excel Hero. No one's ever seen Daniel Ferry's face.
No idea.
He actually told me that. He said nobody's seen it, so it's got to be good.
I've seen it.
Even on LinkedIn. Even on LinkedIn, it's an icon.
He said it adds to the mystery of it.
Nice.
It adds to the enigma.
All right. What do you think, Oz?
Oh man.
Don't worry.
I'm going with Chandu when he was wearing the tornado afro posse.
Nice. And Zach.
I'm actually going to have to go with my Tables book co-author, Mr. Kevin Jones. He is a lady killer. He's amazing. Yeah. And closely behind him is Bob Umlas, who has aged very well.
Yes.
You know, Zach, you pulled it out at the very end. You're 0. I thought you were going to flatline. 1,000,000 points for Zach. Zach wins. Everybody else loses. Even though we'll give Bill 70 points for that phenomenal answer. So congratulations, Zach. Appreciate that. Once again, would you mind holding up your book again and tell us a little bit about it again, where people can grab that? Where's that at?
Absolutely. Right here. Here we go. So there's actually a few places you can get this from. So the best place that I recommend, the cheapest place, is actually MrExcel.com bookstore. So if you go to MrExcel.com, go to the bookstore. It's on there. It's slashed at a discount right now. It's actually less than Amazon. It's just under $20, $19.95, I think, or something like that. But you can get it from Amazon.com as well, and Amazon.co.uk. All the links are available on the website exceltables.com, which is my homage to Excel tables, where we discuss everything, all Excel tables, all the time. Requests are taken. But, yeah.
Sounds great. Well, thank you very much, and we'll put links underneath here as well. And if you go over to our Facebook page or anything else, we're going to put links out to the book as well. So feel free to follow those there.